Welcome back to Midco Sports Magazine. If you're a college football fan in the Dakotas or Minnesota, you probably know who Zach Zenner is. He's from Eagan, Minnesota, and to say that he played football at South Dakota State is not enough. He was one of the best ever at the FCS level. He's wicked smart, and he's eventually going to go to medical school, but he's putting that off for the time being to make a run at the National Football League. Zach Zenner ran for at least 2,000 yards in 3 straight seasons at South Dakota State. He is the only player ever at the FCS level to do that.
Someone heard how many yards I had in college, went around for a little bit, but a lot of people did well in college, yeah, those are pretty good numbers, but you still got to prove you can play out here.
A lot of people think that Zenner can play in the NFL. He is 5'11", 224 pounds. He's quick, fast, rugged, he's very smart, and it has to help that the running backs coach for the Lions specifically wanted Zenner to come to Detroit as a free agent.
I was keeping my fingers crossed that some kind of way, whether we drafted him or signed him as a free agent, he would end up here, and I was fortunate that happened. I talked to him on the phone, and of course I saw him at the combine and all that, and just try to keep an eye on him. But during the draft, you never know what's going to happen, and we're just fortunate it worked out our way when the day was over.
Coach Modkins is a great coach. I'm glad to be here working underneath him. He's helped me out a lot, just how they want to run things or how things are run here, the speed at which I'm supposed to go, faster on this play, tempo down here, those sort of things. It's been really good.
He's doing good along with some of our other rookies. He's doing a good job. He's on top of his stuff. He's seeing the right things, and he's doing the right things. I'm really excited about where he's at right now.
The Lions completed a rookie minicamp in May and then another team minicamp in June. And those precious days on the field gave Zenner a chance to get his considerably talented feet wet and get a feel for how the NFL was going to be different than the Missouri Valley Conference.
One thing that surprised me is that at the end of the day, we're still out here playing football. For some reason in your mind you hold that the NFL is so different, than college. Really, it's all football, but everyone's big and fast.
And a few of them are very famous. Zenner has spent time running routes with Calvin Johnson and catching passes from Matthew Stafford.
I was starstruck for sure. How can you not be? But at the same time, you got to get over that real quick because the play's coming and you got to know what you're doing.
That is not and never has been a problem for Zenner. He has taken his lunch pail and his work ethic with him to Detroit.
Yeah, he's a hard-working kid, puts the time in to be good. I can tell he goes, when he leaves here, it doesn't end for him. He goes home and he studies his stuff, and when he comes back the next day, he's ready to go. You can tell he has a really good feel for the game. There's a really good understanding of blocking schemes and where he fits into it and how to set things up and, where the hole's going to be and what the potential problems and issues are and where the soft spot's going to be at. So you can tell that, but until we get on pads, it'll be hard to say what distinguishes any of them from each other.
There are 5 other running backs on the Detroit roster right now, including second-round draft pick Amir Abdullah. Zenner and Abdullah faced off in college when the Jacks played at Nebraska in 2013. Zenner went for 202 yards on 21 carries that day. Abdullah ran 15 times for 141. But they are teammates now, for the time being at least, along with returning running backs Joik Bell and Theo Riddick.
All those guys have been really helpful, and then we're helping each other out as rookies also. From my perspective, I'm making it as hard as I can on the coaches to make a decision. That's our job as players. Yeah, we're competing against each other, but let's make them keep both of us. That's my attitude.
Another factor in Zenner's favor is the Detroit coaching staff's reputation for running a wide-open camp. Supposedly no favors given to returning players or draft picks, and full consideration given to undrafted free agents like Zenner.
There's more undrafted guys than there are, 5th, 6th, and 7th rounders combined, something like that. So, there's definitely an opportunity, and there's definitely been shown that undrafted free agents can have a big impact in our league. But I see him doing some good things for us, and I think when we get on the pads, when we get into preseason, he'll even flourish a little bit more.
Zenner was an outstanding student at South Dakota State. He earned a degree in biology. He has been accepted to medical school but has deferred that enrollment for a year. He never really had a nickname in college, but he's got one now with the Lions.
We refer to him as Doc around here, so that's what he goes by now. So I apologize to his parents, but which he's now known as Doc.
I'm no doctor yet, but yeah, I guess there are a lot of worse things you could be called than Doc.
And if nobody calls him Doc for another 10 years, that would be fine with Zenner. That would mean that he is still playing pro football. And he wants to be very clear on one question that he gets asked all the time. Are you committed to football? Why bang your head trying to play this game instead of studying to be a surgeon?
Maybe from the outside, that's a legitimate question, but for me, it is kind of silly. You know, I want to be out here. I want to play in the NFL first, and then go pursue a degree in the, healthcare field. But NFL is definitely first, and I'm working my butt off to make the team.
Well, Zenner and the other Detroit rookies have to report to training camp at the end of July. Zenner's going to be in Sioux Falls just before that, though. On July 21st, he's going to put on a clinic with the Riggs Football Academy at the Sanford Fieldhouse. Our thanks to Zach Zenner and to Jim Birdsall and everybody with the Sioux Empire Officials Clinic. We'll see you next month on Midco Sports Magazine.
This has been Midco Sports Magazine, presented by Shields.